came into my life like a quiet promise, like something meant to stay. You held my hand through the hard days and slowly walked away. I felt the change before you spoke, in the way you look at me, like your heart was already somewhere else, and I was just a memory. I kept waiting for the moment you fight for us somehow, but you chose the easy leaving instead of working it out. You didn't stay long enough to see us through the pain. You left when love got heavy, before it could change. I was still trying to heal up, still calling your name. You didn't stay long enough, now I carry the blame. I would've stayed through every storm if you had stayed too. I believed in all the things we said we'd do. You said you needed time alone, said you had to find your way. But love doesn't run from hurting, it learns how to stay. I didn't need perfection, I just needed your fight, but you let go in the darkness and called it right. But I stayed true. I gave you everything I had, even when you withdrew. One day I'll love someone who won't walk away afraid. You didn't stay long enough, but I did. I stayed. Before they get the chance, you didn't stay long enough to see what we had. There was no fight, no final scream, no slammed doors, no shattered scenes, just fewer words and longer nights, and you drifting out of reach. Your laughter didn't sound the same, your eyes stopped looking for mine. You stayed but only in your body, your heart had already resigned. I kept waiting for a moment where you'd find goodbye, but you let the distance speak. And I learned to read the signs. This is a love that left quietly, no warning, no goodbye, just a slow fade into silence right before my eyes. You didn't mean to hurt me, but you still let it be. You didn't walk away loudly, you just stopped choosing me. I noticed you stopped reaching back when I reached for your hand. You said nothing's wrong, I'm just tired, but I felt where you didn't stand. I tried to keep us breathing when the air was running thin. I was fighting for forever, you were already letting it end. You never said you were unhappy, you just stopped letting me in. And somehow that hurt worse than if you'd screamed it. This is a love that left quietly, like it was never there. You packed your heart in small excuses and disappeared. I was still saying we, you were saying me. You didn't break my heart loudly, you just stopped loving me. Maybe love doesn't always shatter, maybe it just goes still. Maybe the hardest goodbyes are the ones you never feel. I would have fought for us harder if I knew we were dying, but you let me believe while you were quietly deciding. I was holding on to echoes, you were already gone. This is a love that left quietly, and I'm left with the sound of all the things you didn't say, spinning me around. I don't hate you for leaving, I hate how you did. You didn't end it loudly, you just slowly vanished. No last kiss, no closing scene, just memories learning how to grieve. Some loves don't leave in flames, they leave in silence. And take everything. You said this time would be different, said you learned from all the pain. I believed you like a promise, I was ready to stay. I watched you hesitate in silence every time I needed more. You kept one foot in our future, one foot out the door. I gave you chances like we were oxygen, hoping you would finally breathe. But loving you meant waiting to be chosen by maybe. You didn't choose me again when it mattered the most. You let me stand here reaching while you stayed so close. I gave you my forgiveness, you gave me the end. You didn't choose me once more. You didn't choose me again. I lowered every expectation just to keep you near. I told myself love was patience, even when it was fear. You said you were ready, like time was on your side, but I was running out of myself, waiting for you to decide. I deserved a love that didn't pause every time it got real, but I kept holding on to hope and ignoring how I feel. You didn't choose me again, you chose comfort instead. You chose not to fight for us, not to try in the end. I stay believing your words, you followed your doubt. You didn't choose me again, and that's what broke me down. Maybe love isn't supposed to ask to be picked or to stay. Maybe being chosen once isn't enough anyway. I don't hate you for leaving, I hate how you stayed long enough to let me hope, then walked away. I just wanted to be chosen without asking. You didn't choose me again, but I'm choosing me now. I'm done waiting in the dark for you to figure it out. I loved you without conditions, you loved me when you could. You didn't choose me again, but I will. Some loves end quietly, some teach you your worth. You didn't choose me again, so I chose myself first. I gave you something fragile, something I couldn't replace. I trusted you with my feelings, put my love in your hands. I showed you every weakness, every crack in my soul. You said you'd be careful with me, but you never held me whole. I can't believe in love and patience, that someday you'd understand. But love shouldn't feel like falling without a hand. You didn't hold my heart, you let it slip and break. You watched me bleed in silence and still walked away. I loved you with intention, you loved me when it was easy. You didn't hold my heart when it needed you completely. stayed quiet through the hurting, so I wouldn't scare you off. I learned to hide my tears, pretend I wasn't lost. You said I was too sensitive, like caring was my flaw. But hearts are made of stone, they're meant to be held with care, with care. I would've stayed through every storm if you had stayed with me. But you let go when it got heavy and cold. In honesty, you didn't hold my heart when it was breaking down. You turned away from my pain, like you didn't hear the sound. I was begging without words, still choosing you. You didn't hold my heart the way I held on to you. Maybe love isn't meant to hurt like this. Maybe it's meant to feel safe. Maybe two hands should carry the weight, not one trying to save. I don't hate you for leaving, I hate how you stayed long enough to teach me love, then let it decay. I didn't need perfection, I just needed care. You didn't hold my heart, but I held yours with mine. I protected all your scars while you ignored mine. One day I loved without fear, without begging to be seen. You didn't hold my heart, but I won't lose it in me. I learned to be gentle with myself in ways you never were. I gave you my whole heart, you didn't hold it, but I survived the fall. We never raised our voices, never threw the blame around, but every word we swallowed was another breaking sound. I smiled so you wouldn't worry, you smiled so I wouldn't see how lonely we were together, how far apart we'd be. I kept my pain behind my eyes so you could sleep at night, but love shouldn't feel like bleeding without a fight. This was a love that hurt in silence, no screaming, no goodbye, just tears that fell in private and questions left behind. I was breaking quietly, trying not to lose you. You never heard my heart collapse. This was a love that hurt in silence. I learned your moves like weather, knew when storms were on the way. I held my breath through every change so you wouldn't feel the pain. You said I'm fine, don't overthink, like truth was something small, but love shouldn't feel like walking through a when it lives inside your heart. I was fading next to you while you were standing still. This was the love that hurt in silence, and it still does, it always will. Maybe we were too careful, too afraid to be unkind, so we let ourselves unravel without drawing a line. I don't blame you for the ending, I blame how long we stayed, letting something beautiful slowly decay. I was hurting right beside you, and you never knew this was a love that hurt in silence. But I'm finding my voice now, I'm learning how to say goodbye. Even if it's loud, I'll carry what was real and release what wasn't true. This was the love that hurt in silence, and now I'm choosing me over you. Some pain doesn't leave bruises, some love doesn't survive. It just teaches hearts how to wait quietly.